Welcome to the very first episode of the Next Phase podcast. We're so glad you're here.
Yes, we are. This is where we help business owners increase value, prepare for the future, and build a next phase they're excited about. So, we've been talking about this for a year?
Yeah.
I mean, this is
it's very exciting.
Super exciting. I'm Darren.
And I'm Katie, and we're the founders of Next Phase Strategy Partners.
So, if you're a business owner and are wanting to increase the value of your business, get future ready, and always stay prepared for whatever's next, you're in the right place.
So today we're kicking things off with the story behind why we started Next Phase and why we're sitting behind these microphones right now.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure. So who we are in our backgrounds, Katie, why don't you get going first?
Yeah. So I spent 20 years as a commercial lender, 2 decades of sitting behind the desk of business owners, helping them navigate their growth, their cash flow, their financing, just big decisions, you name it.
Yeah, and she's being fairly humble when she says that, but Katie has seen the inside of hundreds of businesses. When you're a banker that long, you don't just see the numbers. You see their patterns, right?
Yeah.
How they operate and the things that are going right, things that are going wrong. You see all of that.
And so what I kept noticing was that business owners were incredible operators and leaders, but almost none of them were thinking significantly about the future of their business, meaning what they were going to do next, which prompts our name, Next Phase. So they were so busy working in the business that they didn't have time to prepare for what comes next.
Sounds really familiar. So my background is a little bit different. I started and sold 3 different businesses of my own. So I've lived through the messy, the emotional, the exhilarating, stressful world of business ownership and transitions. So I know what it feels like to prepare a business for sale, evaluate a buyer, and make decisions that impact your family and your future, as well as your team. So that's the real of it. We have had both sides of the situation that most business owners find themselves in.
And that firsthand experience is so valuable. Darren gets what owners go through because he's been the owner. He's been the seller. He knows what goes into it, good, bad, and the ugly.
That's right. And a lot of that is what led me to become an EOS implementer, which we're both EOS implementers as well on top of all of this. So every day we're getting to work with leadership teams, see their business from the sidelines, help them get healthier, gain clarity. Accountability becomes a real thing for them, and ultimately just building stronger business foundations.
And that's where the light bulb kind of came on for us. The EOS work made owners stronger, but they still didn't have a plan for their next phase. I think one of the most common things that we've heard our business owners say is, I want to retire in the next 3 to 5 years or in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yep.
And so they want to build the value of their business, but they really don't have a structure for that particular part. So.
Yes, very true. We keep seeing the same things over and over. You have owners that are truly building great businesses, but not necessarily valuable businesses.
Right. Or transferable businesses.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So owner-independent businesses or businesses designed with the end in mind.
Yes. So there's a huge difference between running a successful business and preparing a business for its future. And no one is really helping owners bridge that gap. It seemed like we kept seeing in our practices, in our EOS practices, where we're building out and we're looking really hard at that 3-year picture. And when we start talking a 10-year target, what we wind up seeing is that they've never actually thought about 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the first time they've actually been kind of approached with that.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden they're 1, excited, but 2, panicked.
Yeah.
By all of a sudden we have to face this, right? So
Yeah, for sure. So that's the gap that we stepped into. The need was right in front of us with the clients that we already worked with, and it just kept getting louder. And they wanted to know, what do I need to be doing now? How do I increase the value? How do I prepare for a sale someday? What does the next chapter even look like for me?
Yep, very true. So, as visionaries do, we built a firm to answer those questions, to truly help them with those exact things. So, what do we do?
Yeah, so what do we do? So at our core, we help businesses increase the value of their company and get prepared for their next phase, whether that's growth, transition, or exit.
Okay. All right. Well, being EOS implementers to begin with, we're not traditional consultants. We're not building a consulting firm in that. We're also not business brokers.
No.
We're the people who help you build a business buyers fight over, right? We want, when you decide to exit and you're going to sell or transition, we want it to be something that is very, very attractive long before you ever think about the actual sale of the business.
Correct. So we want you to think of us as your strategic business partners, your sounding board, your clarity generators, your value builders.
Yeah, we help business owners get out of the weeds, build the systems that are necessary for them to be not such an integral point of failure if they're gone, develop the leaders that are going to be there after they are gone, grow profitability, and make sure the business doesn't rely on them for every decision.
And we always say exit planning doesn't mean that you're exiting. It means that you're getting ready. It means that you're creating options. It means freedom. I know you and I were talking to someone the other day who said that he exited his business at 35 just because he was just ready for something else.
Yeah.
And again, that's where our name comes from. He wasn't retiring. He was just ready for the next phase.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Feels like we run into that quite a bit where people feel like either one, the passion isn't there for it the same as it was when they started. It developed out of a need for a lifestyle, something like that. And they've gotten to that point where they're like, well, what is next? So why did we decide to start a podcast of all things?
Yeah. So, the real story of how this started was like, we had been thinking about it for a long time, but 4 months ago, I asked Darren, I said, this is coming up over and over again. And I know we've talked about it before, but do you want to do this? And he, without hesitation, said yes. And I super appreciate that. So thank you.
Absolutely.
But nobody is really talking about this. Like, they know that they need to do it, and they know that there's a big wave in our economy of business owners who are needing to exit. Some have called it the exit tsunami, but people just don't really know how. And so that's how we really came to be. We want the owners to have a place where their business or their future business planning feels simple, fun, totally doable, and not overwhelming.
Yeah, because a lot of times it is the opposite of that. For sure. My own experience was a lot that way. Like, it felt so overwhelming. So to have a resource to go to that's like, hey, look, this is what you want it to be, and we're going to be with you every step of the way through it. Like, that's huge. So we want to take you behind the curtains to talk about the things that the owners wish they knew sooner, right? So it's always hindsight's 20/20 in everything, but the value drivers in the business, the deal killers, emotional readiness.
Yeah, which nobody talks about.
Nobody talks about it, right? You've spent all your time and energy, money. You've put your financial stability on the line to do this, build this business, and now you're going to leave it? Like, it's almost just like nurturing something, putting your heart and soul into it, and then suddenly leaving that. There's a mourning phase to that isn't ever talked about either. So I think that's something that we'll really, really dig into. We want to make this stuff less intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Preparation shouldn't feel scary. Building value shouldn't feel mysterious. We should have a clear picture forward, and it should be super empowering.
So that's what the podcast is. Your weekly dose of clarity for your business's future.
Yep. All right. So now they kind of know who we are and why we're doing this. What is to be expected in the future? Should they, which we hope they do, continue to follow us and join us on this journey? But what's to come?
We just really want this to be practical, fun, short, not super long episodes, lighthearted. We want you to think of them as the conversations that you're having. So as you're listening to us talk, you can have the conversation in your own head. The smartest business friend that you had, if that friend were obsessed with helping you build that value, that's who we are.
Yeah. And we're talking like Shark Tank scoring, right? The things that get you noticed, the emotional side of exiting, recurring revenue, owner dependency, team readiness, personal purpose, which I think is, again, another big kind of missed point. Scalability. How do we grow? Can you grow?
Yep.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff
that you need to have a business that is ready to exit.
If you're an owner who wants to build a business that it's healthy, it's valuable, and it's future-proof, you're going to love it.
So with that being said, thanks for joining us for our very first episode. We're thrilled to finally share this journey with all of you.
And if you want tools, you want some downloads, you want help preparing your business for its next phase, you can visit us at nextphasesp.com. That's nextphasesp.com.
All right. Well, episode 1 is officially in the books. Let's do this thing. Let's keep this going. We're excited. We're going to have a ton of fun with it. And ultimately, we want to bring you a value that you look forward to listening to us on a regular basis.
Yeah. So we'll see you next time.